Good afternoon. My name is Corina Ene. I am with the Office of Federal Programs at the State Department of Education. On behalf of Superintendent Hofmeister, I would like to welcome you today to the overview of school-wide and targeted assistance programs presentation. I will be starting with the ESSA requirements, and under ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act, every Title I school is required to develop a Title I school-wide or targeted assistance plan. These plans are designed to capture in writing a focused and coherent course of action to provide for all of the students in a Title I program the opportunity to meet the challenging state academic standards. Gary, I cannot go to the next slide.
Click once on your screen and then hit just advance or return. Nothing. Still down in that lower left corner. Kind of move your right there. I don't know.
Okay.
There you
yes,
go.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
good.
There are additional requirements under Title I school-wide or targeted assistance plans. You have to make sure that they are based on the comprehensive needs assessment of the entire school. They are developed with the involvement of parents and other community members. The plans remain in effect for the duration of the school's participation in the Title I Part A program. And the plans are regularly monitored and revised as necessary based on student needs to ensure that all students are provided opportunities to meet the challenging state academic standards. I just have a short comment here that you will have to use the comprehensive needs assessment for each school that is going to develop a Title I school-wide or targeted assistance plan. There is no such thing as district-wide comprehensive needs assessment, or there may be, a district may choose to do that, but for the purpose of developing and providing all the narrative answers in the school-wide or targeted assistance plan, you will have to have a tool, a comprehensive needs assessment tool that will collect data specifically for that particular school. What is the distinction between these Title I plans? A school served with Title I Part A funds in a school-wide setting will serve all students, and the school-wide program will update the entire educational program of the school. A school that served with Title I Part A funds in a targeted assistance setting will provide services only to eligible children under ESSA Section 1115B, identified as having the greatest need for special assistance. As you all know, there is a new format that's used for the Title I school-wide and targeted assistance plan in FY21. So what is different in FY21 than it was before? Until FY20, so until last year, there were separate school-wide and targeted assistance plans, plan applications in the grants management system. Starting with this fiscal year in FY21, the school-wide and targeted assistance plans will be included in the consolidated application. Until last year, the plans required principal access in single sign-on. Starting with FY21, this current fiscal year, there is no access needed in GMS that is required for principals. The templates will be submitted to the LEA's Federal Programs Director, who will then upload the plans in the consolidated application in GMS. Until last year, the plans could be rolled over in the grants management system from one year to another. Starting with this year, the plans cannot be rolled over. FY21 will be the baseline, but the plans can receive updates based on the previous year development. Again, the plans will be in PDF format, and all you have to do is you save the document, the PDF document, on your desktop, and then you can make adjustments or updates every year, and then you will submit the updated plan to your federal programs director to be uploaded in GMS every fiscal year. So in a way, it can be rolled over, but not in the true meaning that it was the rollover in GMS in the past. One important thing is that sites that apply to become school-wide or targeted assistance school for the first time, or if they are looking for a waiver from the OSDE to operate as school-wide schools as the poverty level is under 35%, must submit the letter of intent, which is found within the Title I application and the Title I plan, which will be uploaded in the consult application on or before October 16, 2020. This is a date that has been extended from the usual September 30th every year. So just keep in mind that these plans will follow the deadline of the consulted application, which has been extended to October 16, 2020. For those sites that will submit these plans after the date, they will not receive approval to operate as Title I school-wide or targeted assistance schools in FY21. So please make sure that you do not miss this deadline and you submit the consulted application along with the Title I plans on time. What stayed the same in FY21? You still have to have parents and community stakeholders involved in the development of the plan. A comprehensive needs assessment still must be conducted in order to determine the school's needs. Plans must be developed in coordination and integration with other federal, state, local services, resources, and other programs. And the plan's implementation shall be regularly monitored and revised as necessary based on student needs to provide additional assistance to enable such students to meet the challenging state academic standards. We keep talking about planning, so there is a short definition of what the planning is, and it is a systematic process of setting priorities and the steps needed to be taken in order to achieve a desired goal. Planning the school-wide or targeted assistance programs will be a collective effort made by the staff, parents, and community to bring school changes in order to improve student performance. I have in the next few slides what's called the 6-step planning process. And while you may have more than 6 steps, this is just guidance, some guidance that will help you in going through the planning process. So what you have to do first is to establish a planning team. And in order to reach this planning team, the principal, district official, or the school leader will convene what's called the pre-planning group, or may utilize an existing team. The pre-planning team lays the groundwork for the actual planning team that will more than likely undertake the whole planning process. The planning group must be representative of people committed to the concept of whole school reform, be sufficiently diverse to represent the demographics of the school or community, and be familiar with the role of the school-wide or targeted assistance option in achieving it. It is recommended to have a facilitator, a data and assessment specialist, technology specialist, a curriculum specialist, involve teachers, paraprofessionals, central office representatives, parents, and community members. So the planning team should be very much comprehensive, and you should have representatives from a diverse group of people. The next step will be to conduct a comprehensive needs assessment. In the previous presentation, the Office of Federal Programs presented a tool, a comprehensive needs assessment tool that is not mandatory to be used, but hopefully is helpful for those that do not have a tool. But you'll have to start with clarifying the vision for reform. You will create a school profile to include student achievement, curriculum instruction, professional development, family and community involvement, school context, and organization. You will determine the data collection methods, Then you'll collect the data and summarize the evidence, and then analyze program needs and setting goals. Again, you are more than welcome to use the comprehensive needs assessment tool that is out there. It's in the OSDE's, on the OSDE's website under Federal Programs Title I. After you conduct the needs assessment, you will have to clarify the needs and finding evidence-based strategies. You will identify high priority needs, you'll generate solutions, and you will define priorities. Then you'll select or develop assessment tools that match the curriculum. You will assign cross-grade level teams to establish common practices and standards. And then you will research for evidence-based solutions that will address the needs. The next step will be setting the school-wide or targeted assistance program goals. You'll have to understand the ESSA requirements for school-wide programs under Section 1114 and the targeted assistance programs under Section 1115. After you carefully read all the requirements in these sections of ESSA, you will connect the goals and the strategies to achieve the goals. So you'll probably have to ask yourselves questions like, are the goals clear and measurable? What strategies are implemented so the goals will be achievable by all students? What achievement benchmarks are used? What professional development will be provided to achieve the indicated goals? What human and or material resources will be necessary to meet the goals? For example, technology, textbooks, teaching specialists, instructional coaches, and so on. And what kind of funding is available? Another question is what role or roles will parents and the community will play in achieving these goals? Lots of questions that, again, you don't have to limit these questions to those that are in this PowerPoint. So the more questions you have, you'll probably be able to create a more comprehensive plan. So listen to the questions that your planning team members and community have. Then you'll move to the next step, which is writing the school-wide or the targeted assistance plan. You have conducted the comprehensive needs assessment. The results have been analyzed and the needs were prioritized. The evidence-based strategies have been researched and the program goals have been set. It is time then to have the planning team put all the parts together by addressing each plan component and bring focus and coherence to all previously separated aspects of the school. After you do that, and again, a more detailed presentation will be over each component of the plans, and they will be presented in future webinars. But after you do that, you finalize the school-wide or targeted assistance plan, and you inform as many stakeholders as possible about the plan and disseminate the final draft. You will offer opportunities for feedback and engage in collaborative discussions with stakeholders. You finalize the plan and commit to continuous improvement. You will implement the plan and evaluate the plan periodically and review and revise the plan as necessary. Again, this was a short overview of both programs, Title I, School-Wide and Targeted Assistance Plans. I'm going to switch and see if we have any questions. We do. So when our principals try to save what they have typed into the template, the information disappears. It will only let them save the document as a PDF. I communicated with Adam at the State Department, who helped create it from the communication department at the OSDE, who created the PDF document, and he recommended that you will open the document with Adobe Reader, and that way you will be allowed to type in and then save as PDF. So I think based on what Adam said, it all depends what program you are opening the document with. So make sure that you open it with Adobe Reader. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Someone else confirmed that they have the same issue. Another question is, will the PowerPoint be made available so that schools can print it out? Yes, the PowerPoint will be posted on the website under federal programs, Title I, Part A, probably by tomorrow. Okay. Kind of jumps. Okay. So a site with 32% poverty can ask for a waiver to become school-wide with a letter of intent? Yes. It is the Office of Federal Programs policy to provide this waiver to the schools simply by completing the school-wide intent in the Title I application within the consolidated application and not go through a more complex and more convoluted process. So all we have to do to continue, or if you want to apply for the first time to operate as a school-wide with the poverty level under 35%, again, all you have to do is click the yes button on the school-wide intent page, and then of course upload the school-wide plan. Where do we find the letter of intent? Have been on the consolidated application but have not seen it there, please advise. So you'll have to go to the drop-down menu on the right-hand upper corner, go to Title I, and then on the tabs you'll see Schoolwide or SW/TA intent. Someone else says that the computers do not have Adobe Reader. Probably is in reference to opening the school-wide plan with Adobe Reader. You will have to go on the internet and download a free copy of the Adobe Reader. Another question is, where do we find the recording for Module 1? It is again on the OSDE's website under Federal Programs, Title I, Part A. Okay, another question. Also, are schools required to submit the budget summary and detailed budgets that were discussed by Ms. Hughes in the August 6th training? We were instructed to download their templates, fill them out, and submit them with the plan. There was more discussion around those templates, so the final decision was that it is not a mandatory step. You are welcome to use the template, the budget summary and detailed templates, but they are not mandatory to be uploaded with the plan. We have heard that there are useful tools for districts with multiple sites that, the federal programs directors want to collect back information about the proposed budgets and the expenditures, and have a better, clearer picture about what's spent at the site. But again, those templates are not mandatory to be uploaded with the school-wide plan. Another question about how long are you expecting each section to be? I understand that you are expecting us to fully explain. I am not quite understanding this question. Are you referring to the section of, or the components of the school-wide plan? Then yes, you will have to fully explain each section of the school-wide plan. And there is like a rubric right before that fill in box where it will tell you the expectations. You know, you will meet the expectations, you will under development, or you are not meeting the expectations. So everybody should strive to provide those narrative statements in each section, in each plan component section, by meeting, you know, answering the questions in such way that they will meet the requirements that are described right there under each section. Okay, another question. I'm not sure if it's a question, but someone says that we use DocHub app in Google Drive to allow collaboration on the PDF between multiple users. It saves changes for us. So that might be a suggestion. Another question. Okay, so it is not an actual letter of intent. It's just checking the box and submitted the school-wide plan. We just completed all steps then. Yes. Probably the terminology of letter of intent is carrying from previous years, but no, there is no separate letter of intent. It's just now, because it's in GMS, is school-wide the intent page, school-wide targeted assistance intent page. Someone put a link to module 1. So I'm not sure if everybody sees the link, but oh, it's a link from YouTube. Okay. Another question. Will the PDF template provided by the State Department of Education have plenty of room to type in all your information? Yes. I believe you can scroll down, you can type in as much as you need to, and the PDF or the typing box will have a scroll down feature that will allow the reviewer to, you know, go read more than it's displayed at one time. Yes, someone else makes the comment that you can type in as much as you need, but you cannot print anything below the text box that is showing. That is a feature that it's a limitation of Adobe probably, and that is correct. You type in as much as you need to, but when you print, it prints only what's captured by that screenshot. Another question. Do you want any of the actual data submitted or just summaries of what we have used to determine our comprehensive needs assessment? In the plan itself, you will have to summarize. I think there were questions before if GMS will allow the upload of additional documents like charts in Excel or more Word documents that explain the findings in the needs assessment. I'm not sure if GMS will allow that. If it does, then you are more than welcome to upload additional documents. But in the school-wide plan, that specific section that talks about the comprehensive needs assessment, you will summarize the results based on the actual data that you use to create that comprehensive needs assessment. Make sure that you refer to the data and explain what you use, so the reviewer that will look at that section will understand that, yes, you met the requirements to use multiple data sources, and you analyze, you know, all kinds of data that was necessary to create that narrative statement for the needs assessment. Very good questions. We are doing this together. It's a new template that was developed this year, hoping that it will simplify the access to these plans. It will have, one common deadline as the application has, instead of having two separate applications in GMS with different requirements, different logins, different, all the complications that come from separate applications. So as you probably have already discovered, there are quite a few technical issues, but please, be patient and email Debbie or myself, Debbie Pham or myself, with any questions that you have, and we'll try to help you go through. Here is my contact information and Debbie's phone number and email. I did not see any more questions, so I would like to thank everybody for participating in today's presentation. And until next time, until the next presentation, I wish you to have a good day.